everybody, as you can see here, we're going to make a choice beef chuck boneless pot roast today. Alright, it's my family's favorite. This recipe actually comes to you from my father, Johnny Rogers. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap my roast from the package. We are going to make a wonderful family pot roast, okay? I've already washed my hands. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we want to be searing our pot roast to capture the juices and keep the roast moist for when we actually put it into the oven. So I've already got my cup of flour. I'm going to put that over my roast. So, and I'm one of those chefs, I am not like huge and anal into exactly how much. I mean, we want to put flour on both sides of the roast to sear it, okay? So, usually a cup. Whoops, I better throw that to the side. Let's add the other half cup. I don't even need the whole thing. See, let's not get all caught up in exact amounts. I'm just not a detailed person. And anybody that knows me, they'll tell you that. I'm more the creative type. Alright, so we've got the flour on the roast. Now we're going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper and 1/8 teaspoon of salt to the roast. I'm going to turn it over. We're going to do the same thing. 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, which I already measured out. But again, like I said, I'm not real anal about exacts. I like to be more creative in my cooking. Alright, so we've already got that done. I'm going to put the roast then in my pan and I'm going to sear it. One moment, I'll be right back. I'm going to put some olive oil at the bottom of my pan right now, and that will be a great way to sear. So if you can look now, there it is. There's my roast. I'm putting it in my pan on top of olive oil. I've already got my stove set. I'm going to set that to about a 4. Now the pot roast, I'm going to let that sear, like I said, both sides. Only takes maybe 5 minutes a side. Again, it's just to capture and bring the juices, to keep the juices within the roast, okay? Yeah, it'll hold in the juices. That's the beauty of searing, okay? Now what we're going to do, our searing will be done very, very fast. Like I said, about 5 minutes a side. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my handy dandy speckled pan that Johnny Rogers used to use. And what I'm going to do with that, this is what you're going to do once your roast is seared. I put 2 bay leaves down on the bottom of my pan, speckled pan. It's already got a grill made into it, so you don't have to worry about putting a grill down on it if you have a speckled pan. Now I'm going to add 1 can of beef bouillon or beef consomme, okay? And I'm going to actually add 1 cup of water to the consomme. If I would have used beef broth, I would not have had to do that. But because I use beef consomme, I'll add about a cup of, just a cup of water to it, okay? And that, again, will just make this roast so juicy. So I've got my bay leaves in now. I've got my beef consomme. When I bring my roast back out, I'm just going to top it with cream of mushroom and a packet of just an onion recipe soup mix to put on top of it. Then you're going to foil your roast. You're going to put the oven on at 350 and you're going to bake it for an hour and a half. After the hour and a half, you're going to add boiled vegetables in with your roast. I usually do carrots and potatoes, green peppers, mushrooms, anything you want to do. But I parboil the potatoes, carrots, and the celery for sure, and onions. Onions I just throw in though. So anyway, let's pretend that my roast is seared. I put it in over the consommé with my bay leaves. I add the cream of mushroom, just 1 can, and 1 bag of the dry onion soup mix. Voila! I'm then going to cover it with tin foil for an hour and a half. Alright? And when that is done in an hour and a half, like I said, I'll add in my veggies and it'll be done in another hour and a half. Usually a roast takes 3 hours. Again, I'm not anal about the time. Just the more you make a roast, actually this way, the longer you cook it, the better it is. But usually 3 hours, and then your vegetables and your pot roast will be perfect. Thanks for coming to Laura's Kitchen, and I'll see you again. Thanks.